What up? What up? What is up? What's going on? WTF Nation Radio, the sports bar is live February 18, 2024. And today is going to be a light show and it's going to be a fun show. We're back to our old format for tonight as we were having some technical difficulties, but nonetheless, we are here. We are going to talk about all things sports and news. And as always, I have my main man, Coach, over to the right. Coach, let the people know something.
What do you hear? What do you say? First week without football in about 6 months. Yeah, I got to crack a cold one open right now. Watching the NBA All-Star game. Oh, God. Have I sunk to a new low? At least Fergie isn't singing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now it is the NBA All-Star weekend. I've seen some of the activities and things that have been happening, and we are going to talk about some of that as well as the tragedy that occurred during the Kansas City Chiefs parade. We have some updates to some sportsing news, as I've heard somebody say, and we're just gonna have fun.
You just made Spanky happy.
Yes, yes. Hey, Spanky's the reason why I say that. That is quite catchy. I like it, and I am certainly stealing it from Spanky. Salute to her.
Mhm.
All right. The king of me said, I don't want to alarm you, but the sports bar is not streaming right now. That
Are
is
we
correct.
Are
That
we
is
not
correct.
on?
Our
Oh, on
uh
all.
our producer haven't gotten to that yet, but I appreciate you for letting me know. Producer, what are you doing? Get to it. Get to it. Coach,
Man, sure.
while
Early bird.
we get
I'm
that,
not helping. Yeah, absolutely.
hey,
Let's throw up our graphic because it's been a while. I'm a little rusty, and now that Ice will be back Monday and Thursday, I think we got a full lineup. Yep. And speaking of that full lineup, ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming to you again 6 nights a week on U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio across Facebook, YouTube, Kick, and X. And we start every week off with us every Sunday night at the sports bar. Oh, that beer was good. But anyway, as we were going off on that, on Monday, we now return and the boss man is back. Ice is back with a Monday edition. Him and Massey are going to be talking about the entire time that he has been away, the mold updates. Oh, dear gosh, there is a whole bunch of crap that Ice hasn't talked about in 2 months. We're finally getting back as Babyface performs the national anthem at the NBA All-Star game. And you know who's always been to an All-Star game, but he hasn't been to an NBA one? Our friends CQ and Mad Mike. They've never been to an All-Star game, but they will be with you on Tuesday for Pop Culture Warrior. And I believe this week we've got another good actress that's going to be coming up. And ladies and gentlemen, it are specifically the men, especially the men that are in your mid 40s. I will want to let you know that we could have a very, very, very prepubescent, reminiscent type of guest coming up on Pop Culture Warrior. Definitely get your hormones in check for that one. And on Wednesday, Radar and TV, they're back. A's on the TV. That was an all-time great. But two all-time greats in Radar and TZ will be broadcasting to you on Wednesdays with the Smoke Pit. 3-hour bullshit session, just like the NBA All-Star game. And on Thursdays, Ice is back, and I'm bringing back Spanky, Ice and Spanky. Guess who's back? Back again. Oh, yes, they're back on Thursdays for Sergeant's Time. Guy Fieri, get off my TV. And anyway, I do want to see on my TV is Ice and Spanky on Thursday as they're breaking down everything that's happening within the military and bringing it to you live and hopefully bringing it to you from the Mold Center of Excellence. And then on this Friday, I am not getting paid, so I lied to you. We are coming to you 5 nights a week live this week because on Friday night of this week. We skip over Friday Night Freedom, and they will be back in 2 weeks from now. Kaz and the Booksters will be talking to you, wrapping up stuff for the end of the week. We got a couple good news articles coming in right now for 2 weeks. And thank you, Babyface, for finishing up. Let's get back looking at some of the legends that are out there. Not you, Fitty. Cents just got shown on the TV. I'd rather not see Fitty. I want to see Larry Bird. I want to see Dr. J. I want to see GP. And I want to see the rest of every single one of our shows on WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments on Facebook, Kick, Facebook, Kick, YouTube, and X, and that's coming to you 6 nights a week on US Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. Have I stalled long enough, producer, to get everything we're up and running?
Yes, I've got the thumbs up from the producer,
yeah.
and we are good to go.
All right, awesome, good. Good enough on the stall.
Hey man, I was impressed, being that we haven't gone through and did our marketing for a while. That was still pretty good, brother. Definitely a lot better than me. So I award you 2 points, sir.
Thank you. And in tonight's All-Star game, everybody should score 2 points. And if they don't, then you shouldn't be an All-Star, especially you. Who's this white guy? Oh, wait a minute. That's true. Never mind. That's Jokic.
Let's acknowledge the comments before we get into the show.
You see a white person on the basketball court, I'll automatically think he's a scrub. I keep on forgetting about him.
Yeah, this is true. All right. We've got Eric Milliken over on Facebook said, "What up, y'all? Hey, what up, Eric? Salute to you. I appreciate you popping in." Michelle Early over on Facebook, that's my boo thing, y'all, said, "Producer, produce, please." Hey, the producer has did their job and gotten things going. We got the King and Me popped up over on Facebook, said, "Good evening. I appreciate you." And my lady is supporting on all the platforms, as she is over on YouTube as well, and said, "Good evening." Look, y'all, all shows start at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time Zone. I'm glad that we're getting the cadre of everybody back, to include Boss Man. You know, he's been gone dealing with some personal things that everybody deals with in life, and it'll definitely be good to have the captain back at the helm starting tomorrow and this upcoming week, man. So look, for all of the other hosts and supporters of WTF Nation Radio, tune in tomorrow for the first 15 minutes of, at least, at minimum, the first 15 minutes of the Monday edition tomorrow, and show Iceman some love.
Yeah,
absolutely. Show him some love, and let's welcome him back with open arms.
What's up, Rich? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, we got Richard Bronco in the building. Salute. Now, Coach, I know we haven't shown this in a while, but that's because my studio isn't set up yet. But I did want
and
to...
I can't see shit over your green screen either.
Yeah, so. It's not showing up right. But this was the... I'll put it over here. That was the plaque that was made by one of the WTF Nation supporters, and I tagged him over at the WTF Nation Radio Facebook page. I wanted him to know we have the plaque. All right, we have the plaque. I don't necessarily have a full studio set up the way that CQ over at Pop Culture Warriors is set up, but once I do, that will be the first piece that goes up at the Sports Bars studio that I stream out of, man. How's your week, Coach?
Pretty good, man. Bought my son a Jeep, and we've been messing around with that for a bit, trying to get a couple of things in there for him. And thank God I'm in my garage. I'm looking for little bits of stuff and shit, and I got to put in there and doing that. And I was looking forward to the NASCAR race this weekend. I was looking forward to everything. But man, oh man, did that freaking rain screw up everything. Now there's a doubleheader tomorrow with the truck race and the other race. Oh, that is actually freaking sweet.
There it is right there. That was made by Charles Rosignoli. And Charles, I hope I said your last name right. Pepperoni, Rosignoli. It's one of those. But that was pretty sweet. And I do Wish that I had a place to fully set it up just yet, but I wanted Charles to know that I do appreciate that plaque, and I am grateful. So thank you.
And Holly just commented that maybe the races are going to be put off till Tuesday. That is very probable with how bad it's raining down there.
Where's the races at? Where are the
Races
races
in
at?
Daytona. Races
Okay.
in Daytona. Yeah. There's three main types of series that run. You have the Truck Series, you have the Xfinity Series, and then you have the Cup Series. The
Okay.
Cup is the big one. You know, that's the main one. The Xfinity is a smaller car, and the trucks are obviously trucks. So they ran the trucks on Friday. And then Saturday, the Xfinity race was postponed till Monday because of rain. They were trying to get all of the stuff in. I didn't even watch the 2.5 hour pre-show that they have on Fox Sports 2. So I tuned it on to the damn thing, and needless to say, there's no race on. I'm watching Mario Lopez on Access Hollywood. Because they had to turn out that one. And they announced that there is going to be a doubleheader tomorrow with the Xfinity race happening around 4 o'clock, and then or 11 o'clock, and then the Cup race around 4. So President's Day, thank goodness it's a holiday, and I am off and a little Monday sports because it's you ain't got nothing else on here.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. It says, oh
Oh,
man, looks like some comments from the sports bar's Facebook page aren't showing up. So that's actually by
actually,
design.
yeah.
That's by design. When I enable cross post, I can't see the sports bar show because it's not like native to here. Now, what I could do is I could talk to the station manager to add the sports bar's Facebook page to their restream platform. Oh, but we don't have enough
Is it?
licenses. Actually, I
I
don't
don't
have
think
enough
we got it.
licenses.
Yeah,
I can't
I
do
don't
it
think
that
we
way.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because CQ's isn't even on there for his own. Am I right?
Yeah, that's
Like,
correct. It's a max.
How does CQ? Yeah, because CQ's able to stream on all of the platforms for us, but then he's also able to do his one. So
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
maybe if we
No,
do the
we can too,
go
but
ahead,
the
buddy.
comments won't show up through the native chat. That's what she's talking about. So we're live on the sports bar
I
now,
gotcha.
but the comments won't show up, and that can't even happen with CQ.
Yeah,
The technical mumbo jumbo would
but it's
be
okay.
we would need an additional
I
license to make it happen.
I know what you're talking about, and it's okay. God happened to me ministries. I do see you over there. Okay.
All right, Coach Caitlin Clark,
Yeah. Can you hear
Iowa's
me? Oh
Iowa's
yeah.
prolific scorer. Let's bring her up here on the screen, and she is now the all-time leading scorer for the NCAA. And here it is. Boom. Like, man, I can't find it. There she is. She got the record by shooting from the logo and then went on to have a
Yep.
49-point game. um,
Yep.
have you heard any of the news around her record and what thoughts do you have?
So record meant to be broken and legit, regardless of how it was played. That is a legit record. We were talking about that regarding Gino Auriemma, as well as the Division One coaching record right now being held by the Stanford head coach. The legitimate record, and I am glad that she broke the record the way she did. The evolution of the women's game obviously hasn't gone as vertical as it can, and we've talked about that limitation. But the horizontal way that it's gone out and the extension that she has shown, that Caitlin has shown, especially with her range, is
Yeah.
showing that it could open the floor a hell of a lot more in the women's game. And the opening of the floor in the women's game is showing a little bit better as far as pace of play. play. So if this is the sign of things to come, hopefully that's good. And you know what? So I take that back. We did talk about this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the differences with women's basketball and men's basketball. I did forget that the women's ball is a little bit smaller. Now, I'm not taking anything away from what Caitlin's got as far as having a smaller basketball, but I will state that her record with how good of her range is and how everything is legitimate, and I do see the overwhelming support for her legitimate record.
Now, who do you think's a better shooter now that we saw Sabrina Ionesco? Like, I have no idea how to pronounce her last name, but
Yeah,
she put up 26 points
yeah.
on the 3-point contest yesterday, and it looked like Steph might actually see like Steph could have lost that match, but she's got a sweet jumper too. Who do you think's a better shooter between Caitlin and Sabrina?
All right, I am coming down fundamental wise, and you can look at Caitlin's. All right, I want you to look at Caitlin's left hand right there.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how it's out, right? All right,
Yes.
you see how her right hand, perfect position, but her left hand, as you can see, is kind of facing a little bit out.
Mm-hmm.
Fundamentally, even though Caitlin's got her shot down, fundamentally, her shot is not as nice as Inoska's. So I will actually give it to her, but Caitlin Clark has the ability to do better further on down the road. I will state that. She still
Noska,
has
is that
plenty
how
of
it's
years to
pronounced?
develop it. Noska, yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you. Okay, hey, I
So
know.
yeah, yeah, I would say I'm actually I will say Noska is the one who's going to do it, but Caitlin Clark has enough time to make her shot a little bit better.
Do you think that Caitlin Clark goes to the WNBA where she is most definitely going to be the number one pick, or does she forego the WNBA for overseas opportunities?
She does all right. So the reason why, and by the way, we're looking right now in front of us: Oscar Robertson, Reggie Miller, and Larry Bird. The one
Legends.
in the middle doesn't belong. Oh no, yeah, but Larry's a fucking Larry, man. That was the beast. Speaking of that, you know what? I would say all of this, regardless of anything, the one person who would win out of every single one of those in a shooting contest in his prime, Larry Bird would fucking sweep the floor with every single one. It wouldn't matter. Larry wouldn't lose. Larry would go
Really?
perfect in the 3-point contest. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Larry
Larry
wouldn't lose at all. Larry
Larry in
would
his
not lose
prime
at
would
all.
beat Reggie Miller or Steph Curry in their prime. I don't know, coach. I don't know.
Hands fucking down. Yes. And you know and I will say it, they will tell you that Reggie would tell you that Larry was better. Freaking Jordan will tell you that the best player that he Bird. I will tell you right now, man. Every single one of them will tell you Larry, if the game was on the line, and even with something like the 3-point shooting contest, Larry would not have lost that thing. Let me. All right, you want to hear a freaking something with about Larry? This
Mhm.
goes into the thank you Indiana for showing him up here. 1987 3-point contest. Okay, it was like the second, third year that they're doing it. Larry walked into the locker room and to fuck around with absolutely everybody, walked in and said, "Hey, so which one of you guys is going to be going in is going to be in second place?" Walked in, walked out, never took his warm up jersey off, and the man won it like completely cold. Swear to God, Larry Bird, best shooter that has ever that everybody will tell you will be the best shooter. If there was a shot on the line, regardless of what it was, Bird would make it. Bird, hands down, best
Hmm.
shooter ever.
Hmm.
And look,
Interesting.
I've talked about Allen, I've talked about Ray Allen, I've talked about Steph having phenomenal form, just like Caitlin Clark with the bad form, just like Reggie Miller with his ridiculous form. Larry Bird had very bad form, but Larry Bird, game on the frickin' line or in a chance to show off who's the best, Larry Bird, hands down, even over Jordan, if it's a fuck around type of thing. He would get the
Wow.
he would he it would be like out of ten, 5 out of 5. I guarantee you it would be Jordan Bird.
Interesting. All right. Now, with Caitlin Clark getting the record, obviously people had opinions about what she did, and one of those opinions was Antonio Brown. Now, we've talked about how Antonio Brown's just not right in the head, but did you hear what he said about Caitlin Clark?
Oh God, let's hear it. No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm not going to repeat or show fully what he wrote because I think that it was extremely disrespectful. But I'm going to put up the photo that he referenced. Okay, this was the photo that he referenced, and he said that Caitlin Clark looks like Mel Gibson.
I see it now. Oh Jesus, do I see it?
It's
Oh
hard
fuck.
not to see it. It's hard not to see
It's
it.
hard not now. It's hard not to see it now. Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, same here.
Okay.
Hey, I was like, wait, hold up. Yeah, that's not a doctored photo. Now he used a cuss word at the beginning, and look, I cuss, but I'm just not going to repeat what he said because where Caitlyn should be celebrated for what she did, it's hard not to see that and go, I don't disagree with that.
I mean, yeah, I gotta look. Yeah, I get it. Look. Regardless of that, but look who also it's coming from. I mean, it's coming from fucking
Yeah.
Antonio. That guy's got about as that guy's got about as much sense as freaking as Philadelphia Eagles fans.
Yep, true
Oh,
that.
fuck off,
Uh,
Julius Randle. I don't. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck Julius Randle. He can kiss my ass.
I don't know what just happened. What just
Sorry,
happened?
they just showed it. They just showed him on the introduction. He wasn't playing. He's not. Thank God for that.
All right. Let's get into
Damn,
some of the NBA.
how how delayed am I?
I don't hear a delay on my side.
Oh, brother, I'm hearing a delay on
Man, hmm.
4 seconds. That's 4 seconds between when you responded and I talked.
Really? Okay. When you get done, there's not a delay that I can hear at all on my side. That's fascinating.
Oh, I hear the delay. Okay, let me hang up. I'll be right back.
All right. So while coach hangs up and comes right back, the king and me said that she hears a delay as well. Hey, thanks for letting me know. Coach said that Rochelle said that there's at least a 5 second delay between coach and myself. All right,
All right,
coach.
all right. We're trying it again.
All right, man. Is there a delay now?
No, I didn't hear a delay. Can you hear anything?
No, it sounds good on my side still.
All right, not a problem. I'm waiting on Michelle's comments to hear it.
Said in the past, it's led to some overlapping of the conversations. Okay. See, I can't tell if it's a delay or
Okay,
not.
I figured it that.
Okay. I just thought you were over talking, and I'm like, come on, coach, let's get on the same page.
Brother, I wasn't. It was a delay, and I swear to God, I wasn't trying to like talk over you or anything, buddy.
Good deal. Said no delay. All right. Sounds like we are rocking. Let's now get into some
Outstanding. We're
NBA.
back now. Good.
Yes, sir. Let's get into some of this NBA All Star news. The All Star weekend isn't like what it used to be. It seemed like, in my opinion, the way that it's came up. I wish I had the clips loaded up from the dunk contest because that's one of the most talked about things, right? This year's winner, Mac McClung, is an athlete. This kid took the nation by storm over social media with his high flying dunks and his scoring range between high school and college, but he never got the chance that he, in my opinion, deserves in the pros. I don't know what it takes to assimilate a team of what is it, 13 players in the NBA or 15?
15 players are in the NBA on the. You have
Okay,
minimum of or maximum of 15 players.
so it's a maximum of 15 players on an NBA roster. And while he did make was it the Golden State Warriors? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up. He has had some tryouts. He hasn't stuck on a full-time NBA roster. I have to look him up. Mac McClung. I am McLovin. So this kid, he is 25 from Kingsport, Tennessee. Played his college at Georgetown and at Texas Tech for one season. He ended up going undrafted in the 2021 WNBA draft and is now currently playing for the Oceala Magic, which is like a G League team, right? He had a stint with the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers, as well as the Philadelphia 76ers earlier at the beginning of this season, but he's never stuck. And I believe his height is what's an issue is he's listed as 6'2", but he looks like a smaller 6'2", right? Allen Iverson was what, 6'3", coach? 6'4"? How tall was AI?
Allen Iverson was about 6. No, AI was about 5'11", 6 foot.
Oh, AI barely even crossed the 6 foot mark. So it's not that height
Yeah, barely. Yeah.
is a factor. It's your athleticism as well. And from what I've seen with Mac McClung, when he's been in games, he's been productive, not just himself, but in facilitating the ball going around the court as well. So he was last year's all-star um high school dunk champion, and he parlayed that back again and came back and won. The part that frustrated me, out of all of the entrants that got in and participated in the dunk contest, some of those dunks were fantastic. And I thought that the judges were overly critical of some of the other players in what they did. Now, you got these freakish athletes that are definitely able to high fly and do more now than ever. Mac McClung won by jumping over Shaq and slamming the ball in.
Yeah.
And that was his perfect 50. But I felt like the one that he did where he jumped up over somebody, bobbled the ball in the air, and then reverse dunked it should have been a perfect 50 as well. And the judges didn't see it that way. But jumping over Shaq, who's tall, don't get me wrong, that's what gets you a perfect 50. What are your thoughts on the dunk contest if you happen to see it?
I saw the highlights of it, man, but I remember back in the day when it actually was something that was, a must see and you had to do it. This McClung kid has got some unbelievable athletic agility. I just think that, with the way that he plays, he might just not play the NBA ways and they might be able to, just have the unbelievable athleticism, but the refinement of the talent might not be the best. But I did see this kid, and the scoring of these dunks. The scoring of these dunks, if any of these happened in like 80s or 90 in the 80s or early 90s, would all be 50s. The I don't know how the judging of that one, because there's several of ones that McClung had that could have been a 50 if it was in previous decades. But you realize that the only 50 that he got was the one that was that last one jumping over Shaq. All right. There's been several of the ones that I remember. Like, here's a good one that never got over 50. You remember Isaiah Ryder, the East Bay Funk Dunk, when he went through the legs for the first time? 49 out of 50. Now, granted, jumping over Shaq a little bit more difficult, 50 out of 50 out of that, but the East Bay Funk Dunk only got a 49 out of 50. Now, and I'll bring this up, every single one of the dunks that Vince Carter had in the 2000 dunk contest, and that's the last time I really watched a contest, even when Nate Robinson was doing this. And here we go. Yeah, let's take a look at this one with Matt McClung, because this one's a sick one that he did. Oh,
that was sick. And I think this one he got a 48, I believe.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's crazy.
He should have gotten a 50 out of that. A 50 out of that. And that's where I'm coming from with the subjectivity of who's got what and where these things are happening. I don't think that one was a freaking great dunk. Great dunk. And yeah, no. That should have been a 50 right there. And like I said, all of Vince Carter's dunks that he had were all a 50. When he dunked it and he hung on the rim with his arm, that was a 50. And that wasn't a 50? Bull crap.
Especially coming from a guy that's 6 freaking 2. You have to take that into account.
And he's white.
Hey, I didn't want to say it.
No. Let the cracker say it. You have words I can't say.
Man, yes. Thank you, coach. And he's white. Man, probably the funniest thing that I heard was somebody said, Mac McClung winning back-to-back seems like reverse racism. That would crack me up.
You know what? You gotta admit something, okay? And I think I know what the hell was screwing up my sound too. But you gotta admit something. It's a great time for the white guys now. We got McCaffrey was in the Super Bowl. You have there's going to be a white cornerback that's going to be drafted in the first round, and now you got this kid with the dunk contest. Yes, let's go white people, man. If that clip ever got pulled out and taken in the wrong way, we would have some serious trouble.
If somebody were to take just that little snippet and play it, oh man, the out of context media would go nuts on that.
Exactly.
Hey, look.
Oh man. And I don't know what the hell Candace Parker's wearing, but okay, that's all right.
Let's see. So there were several other events that happened as well. What did you think about the Steph versus Sabrina? I thought it was a fantastic showcase. I couldn't stand. Oh, you know what? Yep, I'm gonna say it. I couldn't stand where it's a fun thing, right? And people were definitely talking about it. I don't think that there was really a winner or loser in it. Now, Steph he's one of the greatest shooters playing right now. Sabrina is one of the greatest shooters also playing right now. What she put up, I'm not even getting a sniff within what she scored, right? It's just not happening. I'm not a shooter like that. But not to take anything away from her, she got as close as anybody can to one of the greatest shooters of all time. And I thought that it was interesting, and she kept downplaying it a bit, and it was frustrating hearing it because I'm like, if anything, use that as an opportunity to uplift your skills and just the WNBA in general, man. And I found it frustrating how much she seemed almost like ashamed that she was participating in it. At least that was my take. What did you think about it?
Well, I didn't see it live. Like I said, I saw the highlights and everything like that, and I saw the people that were coming out from it. I don't think she had anything to come out of it and anything bad. I mean, yeah, granted she didn't win, and maybe some of the militant freaking women feminist athletes like the fucking soccer player would get pissed off because oh, it was not fair because she was a woman and she's competing against a man. No, you know what, I think it should have been okay. I don't think she's got anything that negative that came out of it. I mean, but let's also be honest here too. People were expecting battle of the sexes, and basically when that whole battle of the sexes thing came out, Billie Jean King was going up against an amateur. Okay, that's why she won. We're going pro against pro. There's nothing to fucking not hang your head up and not see and think that it was negative. I mean, for crying out loud, we used to see it with what was the one, the golfer Annika Sorenstam, and the other one, frickin' Michelle Wee. They all played on the men's tour and they all went on shit and they got shit on. She went up against the guy and actually competed and nearly beat the fucking guy. Come on now, there ain't nothing negative in that.
We have one more thing to cover this, and then we're gonna move to the next topic. This is the third time that the same two players have won the 3-point contest and the slam dunk contest in back-to-back years. In 87, 88, it was Larry Bird and Michael Jordan.
Yep.
From the 2002 to the 2003 years, it was Peja Stojakovic and Jason Richardson. And then from
I,
the 23 year to the 24 year, it was Logo, Dame Lillard, and Mac McClung. So salute to them. I'm glad that the NBA does give Mac McClung that opportunity to come back to defend his dunk championship. And I hope he comes back and does a three-peat next year.
and the funny thing is, like, I saw something on there, like, apparently he's only played in 4 NBA games and he's a 2-time winner.
I like it. I love the underdog story, man. I'm a huge sucker for an underdog story,
Yep.
which, by the way, Rudy is one of the movies that's going to make our March Madness tournament of best sports movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
So let's close this segment out, and then we are going to talk about that. Chris Brown was also invited to play in the Celebrity All-Star Challenge. And then at the last minute, they came and said that, well, we don't want you participating, but you definitely can have courtside seats and all of that stuff. So Chris Brown went on social media, showed the receipts of him being invited and then disinvited, and said, no, I'm not even going to show up to your game because of y'all doing bad business. But apparently, one of the sponsors had an issue with Chris Brown being in the game, and the sponsors were going to be on the jerseys of the people that was playing in that match. So that's why Chris Brown didn't show up.
And money always pays the bills and always makes the decisions. So let's be quite honest. And it's about time that common sense and money beat Chris Brown, because Chris Brown's done a lot of that in the past. Oh wow. Okay.
Yo,
They
hold
can't
up.
even hit a layup over here this West.
Man, I thought about taking a look and seeing if that game was going to be interested, but it hasn't been competitive for me. So I just said I'm not even gonna bother even having it up. I'm not even gonna waste my resources.
No,
Waste my
no.
electricity.
Looking at it is an absolute waste of time right now. I'll be honest with you. You're better off. You're better off going on MeTV and seeing a rerun of What's Happening or Green Acres or something or whatever the hell's on. Is What's Happening on? Yeah, I want to watch What's Happening.
I don't know if the viewers knew this, but I am a father. My daughter, if y'all saw me turn around with the camera still on, she had announced that she had just came back in. She is a junior in high school, and her boyfriend pretty much had been out all day today. They went to a comedy improv show down in DC and then a
Oh,
Korean hotspot barbecue place that just opened up here in my local city. And she walked in and smiling, man, and it looked like she had, man, a real good time. So that put a big smile on my face.
that's awesome, man. By
Now,
the way, All in the Family is on right now on MeTV. Those
the
were the days.
I need to bring up the sports bar here so I can get the link and tell people to go over to facebook.com/slash the sports bar USA. We have a post seeking inputs on the best sports movie of all time. The post was on February the 5th, and I'm going to pin it on our channel. Let me see if I can do that. Pin. I
All
can't
right.
do that right now. But if y'all want to go over there and comment, we're going to leave it open for a couple of more days. And then live on air, we're going to have a tournament style matchup where we are also going to bring on some of our resident movie and pop culture enthusiasts to come on to the sports bar and do this tournament style matchup to see what is considered the greatest sports movies of all time.
Oh,
Greatest sport movie.
we're gonna have some massive debates on this one because I can vigorously debate three being the best of all time. And my
Ooh.
gosh, yes, I can definitely do that.
All right. So I can't get the link up to the direct post, but again, if you go over to facebook.com/slash the sports bar USA, you will go be able to go down here. And then after the show, we are going to pin that post up at the top. The king and me said, stomp the yard.
Stomp the yard. Hell no. Hell
Hold up.
no.
Hey, there we go. I got my soundboard working. Oh my goodness. Man, hey, I got a tear coming out of my eye. Thank you, Michelle, for Stomp the Yard. I might just put that in just because as a
Dear
16
God,
second.
at this point, you might put Drumline on there next. Jeez.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Let's get into our next topic. Coach, the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl. That much we all know. Even if you don't watch sports and all the sportsing stuff, you should at least know that. They had their celebratory Super Bowl parade and it ended in some tragedy.
Yeah.
What do you know about the news that you can share with our viewers and listeners?
So they did. So they did put the arrest. They did arrest two juveniles that were in relationship to that one. Two kids were ended up being killed, and I believe like 12 or so injured. And it
Mm.
was a bunch of freaking kids doing stupid shit over there and worrying about it at the celebration that caused that issue. I did see that Taylor Swift donated $100,000 to the medical bills for the people that were injured or something like that, or the families. I don't know what the hell happened. It okay. Sports fans and sports fanatics do certain things, that shouldn't be done. And when people think that this was a fan that did this, I would have to simply disagree that this was some juvenile that was trying to do something in a gang that was able to do it when somebody was there and it was a target of opportunity. It was premeditated. There's no kid that just shows up and accidentally does something like that out of malice. So there was premeditation in this damn thing. And I hope it just doesn't change the way that we celebrate in the future, if you know what I mean by that. Like, I just hope that because of what this kid did doesn't mean that we can't have fucking ticker tape parades anymore. You know,
Yeah.
because of what this dumbass kid did premeditated. I hope he doesn't ruin it, and like other places, like now we have to have a Super Bowl celebration at the stadium so that everybody can pass through a fucking metal detector and or something like that. No. We've had a lot of freedoms taken away from us. Let sports try to not do this, please, for the love of God. I don't want to be put through a the Jets finally winning the fucking Super Bowl after 60 years. Okay, I don't want to have a strip search to finally go into the Canyon of Heroes in New York City and see a ticker tape parade of the Yankees winning the World Series. I don't want to do that. All right, it's not going to be that bad. So please don't do that shit again. And if it does happen again, then this entire world's fucked.
Yes, yeah, we have to be better about policing our own neighbors. Now, the mayor came out and said that, look, we're not going to let this one isolated incident, because it wasn't like it was a terrorism opportunity or anything like that. The mayor came out and said that we're not going to let this thing sour how we do business, essentially, because there
Yeah.
was another parade or something else that was scheduled in the upcoming days. Now, when I looked at the footage from the parade incident, there were about 10,000 cops, it seemed, that was there. So the planning that goes around trying to keep the general public safe is monumental, but it's also not like it's not an easy task, right?
Yep.
But the fact that somebody that looks like you shows up and makes a dumb decision has certain liberties taken away. Like I
What do you
joined
mean, somebody like me?
Listen, like I joined the military after 9/11, and I
Yeah.
don't remember going to airports where people say that you could go as a family up to the gate to see your loved one off or something like
Yeah.
that. And just how easy it was, right? So when you have something dumb happen, in order to keep the general, public safe, you have to go through these extra measures, but it causes slight inconveniences to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
So and then too, if you're like a part of the celebrity that's there at that event or something like that, you don't want to show up with people that are already crazed and then have something like that happen, and now you and your family and people are in jeopardy because of an isolated incident.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's going to be a damn problem going forward. And I hope that other towns don't have to react knee jerkingly because of what this idiot freaking kid did. And that's what that kid is a fucking idiot.
Yep, and I love the positive thing that a lot of the celebrities have came out and done. Taylor Swift, as you mentioned earlier, I saw that Patrick Mahomes has agreed to add some type of donation or something to help with the families and victims of that shooting. And I wish that how do I say this politely? I think, especially with this being a political year,
Mm-hmm.
right? This was the icing on the cake as far as how the news and the news media take something and highlight something that was senseless and something that was stupid. I don't
Yeah.
even want to imagine how once summer comes, um, what stupidity is going to go down and how the general public is going to react to it. I don't even want to
Oh,
think about it.
that's part of the reason voting for the same person who I voted for a couple of years ago. And that's
Mhm.
myself. I am voting for coach in 2024 because I am the only motherfucker that I believe can actually fucking get this shit done. I don't trust anybody else. So vote
Man,
coach 2024.
vote coach for 2024. I'm going to make a banner and put that on our social media page.
Vote coach 2024, motherfuckers.
You know, speaking of kind of that nature of just the divisiveness in general, like we talk all the time about like the different sports stuff. Like I'm a Alabama fan. If you
Yeah.
walk into my house with anything Auburn related, I'm gonna have you take it off or you can't come in, right? But that's joking, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's not like I have any hatred for anybody who attended a public university and plays sports or
Yeah.
supports that team. It is all fun and games, right? So to show up for something and do something violent, I think you're right. There hasn't been a lot of news that have came out of it because those that are arrested are juveniles,
Hmm.
but I'm with you. I think that it was something that was like premeditated, and it was one of those things that was like, hey man, if we see, JoJo at the scene, we
Hmm.
gonna already have the jammy with us, and we're just gonna pluck up, plow. I
Yeah.
got deodorant stains all on my shirt.
Oh shit.
Come on, King.
Hey, gone, man. But no, I believe you're right, and that's the thing that's they ruining it for other people, and I really hope that it just becomes something that because they're juvenile, they're not going to say anything about it. I hope, but this is America. We know how shit runs around this freaking place. Somebody soon enough will make a damn bigger deal out of it than what it's supposed to, than what it'll end up being. And I guarantee it'll be somebody from New York.
Yeah.
Why they just do stupid shit like that? So
No, no, it's not gonna be New York. It's gonna be Florida. We all know this. We all know this. A Florida man, dot, dot, dot. That's what's gonna kick things off.
could be true. Yeah, could be true.
Shout out to Jeremy Daniels over on Facebook. Said, President Jeremy, I give you a salute with my deodorant stained right arm. Coach,
No,
we got
it's better. It's better deodorant stain than any other kind of stains.
Hey man, I appreciate that because that is true. We got one more thing to cover, and we're going to end on this note. Look, there were a lot of other sports things that happened over the last couple of days as well. Several big mixed martial arts fights. I saw a clip of Dana White walking off of Howie Mandel's podcast, and I wish I had it to bring up right now, but it was so weird because it started out normal and Dana White basically said, "You know what? I'm tired of doing these podcast stuff. I'm sick and tired of doing the same old thing, yada yada." Howie was nothing but respectful to him and everything. And he was basically like giving because he was introducing him. So he was going over his accolades and things like that. And Dana White just walked off. I was like, shit. Okay. And Howie had this look like, wait, what
What
just
the fuck?
happened? And I wish I had that clip queued up, man, because it is hilarious. Actually, I am going to find the clip, but while I do, Wayne Merrick over on Facebook said, no, this shooting didn't fit the media's agenda.
Yeah,
Hmm,
you know, I'm not going to get into the narrative type of thing, but I can see the agreement of that one.
okay.
And you know what? People have their opinion. I just steer away from that. So yeah.
All right. Coach, are you a gamer?
Uh, no, not really. but I used to be.
Did you ever play the old NCAA college games when they
Yes.
were out on consoles?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Thank you, Ed O'Bannon, for fucking that one up for everybody else.
Well, it's coming back. It is coming
Yay!
back.
Good old evil EA strikes again.
EA Sports, the money hungry bastards themselves, has announced that the college football game will return this summer. So after decades of not being, I don't say decades, about a decade of being on hiatus due to a dispute between EA, the NCAA, and college athletes. Now that we have name, image, and likeness deals, it was the perfect opportunity for the powers that be to come back to the table to get this thing kicked off. I thought it was one of the better sports simulation games that were out there. And me and a couple of my homies, when I was active duty, we would all get together. We would get our online franchise leagues going and play through several seasons as our favorite college team. So I'm excited to have this back. I'm excited and hope that it's not just uh, a cookie cutter
Mhm.
Madden template where they just take the engine from Madden, place it on the NCAA, add all of the logos and stuff, and that's the product that they give us. I think that EA has the perfect opportunity to retool this to give us that really good, authentic next gen college football experience. And if they fuck this up, I'm going to be mad.
This is EA we're talking about, so we probably have a stronger likelihood of that happening than anything else. And and I hate to say this, I remember when the gaming companies used to not be so damn criminal. And it's a damn shame that every gaming company has become criminal entities, which is exactly what they are, most of them are now.
Hmm.
If you there used there was a company called Motorsport Gaming.
Mhm.
They held the license to the NASCAR to the NASCAR games for the past 5 or 6 years. These criminals did not only not produce a game, but they also spent nearly $25 million of NASCAR's money trying to develop something that never appeared. Yeah. These gaming companies are just trying to make as much money as possible. And I hate to say this, it's going to be an absolute pain in the fucking ass, and it's going to be a copy for everybody that's going to see all this stuff for EA Sports getting the NCAA back. So, King, we're going to have some nice angry discussions about that when it comes out, man, because you're going to be ticked.
No, 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 I don't want to be ticked off.
It's EA, man. EA's a freaking shithole company. That's all they're going to do is they're going to do exactly that. I'm sorry that I'm in that boat, but man, I'm in that boat, brother.
Jeremy said, same old engine, new shiny skin, now including Bluetooth. And I'd like to be optimistic, man. We shall see. The game was announced that it was going to be released last year and it didn't happen. So I hope that this isn't a psych out. It's going to be called College Football 25. And apparently the Colorado Buffaloes are going to be like the one of the top teams in the game.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, you know, when you have your name, image, and likeness deals, and that's the only thing that you can compete off of, I guess you got a good reason to think that you're going to be the best at Madden or at EA.
All right.
Uh,
Now coach, we will not be live next week as I'm going to be out with CQ of Pop Culture Warrior at an event. So the sports bar will be closed next Sunday. Two more things to close us out. Brittany Griner had her number retired at Baylor. So Baylor retires the number 42. And there was a video clip of her also dunking the basketball as well. So it looks like Brittany can still jump. But shout out to Brittany Griner for getting her number retired at Baylor with number 42. And the women's South Carolina team has set a SEC regular season winning record with
Mhm.
43 straight SEC regular season games. So congrats to the Columbia, South Carolina women's basketball team. Coach, is there
Yeah.
anything that you want to say for us to close us out?
No, you know what? I don't have anything for this week, man, other than be good to each other, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.
All right. See y'all in 2 weeks from WTF Nation Radio. This has been King and Coach signing off. Salute.
Peace.